Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where we're taking a holistic approach to health and wellness by providing you with services that are designed to nourish and strengthen you mentally, physically, and spiritually. The services that are utilized to attain this goal consist of philosophical counseling, ISSA certified fitness training, and clean-hearted spiritual teachings and practices. So this is a different kind of ministry. I am a different kind of minister. And for more specific details with regards to what all that means, please watch a video on this YouTube channel titled Minister Mongoose Introduction and Services. Please take a moment to watch that video, guys. I know it may be longer than some of the other videos, but please watch it, guys, because the information contained in that video is going to let you guys know one way or the other if you want to support this ministry wholeheartedly, or if you don't want to support the ministry. And I quite honestly, guys, I would rather have you guys walk away outright than to stay and be lukewarm. So please watch that video, guys. This ministry could utilize your continued support. And for all of you guys that are out there supporting this ministry in various ways, even if you're new to the channel, hey, listen, I appreciate all the love and all of the support. Watch that video, and if you'd like more information about the services and how you can support this ministry, please stay tuned to the end of the video. I am your host, Minister Mongoose, and let's start with today's session. Today we're talking about the choices of the believers. The choices of the believers. Now, this message is referring specifically, I know it's titled under the 144,000, but this message is directed specifically for those who are the members of the great multitude. This does not refer to the 144,000. But the message, obviously, it's applicable. If it's applicable for the great multitude, then the 144,000 may have something to glean from it as well. We're on the same team. We're just doing two different functions within the teamwork, you understand? So this message is specifically for the great multitude, and it's not for the 144,000, not specifically. The reason why I say that, guys, because we're talking about the choices of the great multitude, the choices of the believers. The 144,000, guys, these are not just predestined people. They're more than that. Everything in the life of those whom he has predestined, his 144,000 chosen ones, we don't have any choices in this life. So whatever we're doing, whatever we're not doing, it's exactly the way it should be. Because everything in the life of the 144,000 has been predestined, you understand? Not just that predestined individual, you see. So the trials, the tribulations, the triumphs, the mistakes, the betrayals, the victories, the defeats, the different seasons and how long these seasons actually last, all these things are predestined in the lives of the 144,000. Every single thing, every single event in the lives of the 144,000 has been predestined. It can't be changed. It can't be adjusted or modified. It can't be lost, forgotten, or stolen. There is a season of remembering, but it can't be lost. It can't be forgotten. It can't be stolen. It's literally 100% irresistible by any man, woman, boy, or girl, or any forces in nature. And it's also 100% irreversible. The only things that's going to happen in the lives of the 144,000 are the things that are meant to happen. And those things that are meant to happen are only going to take place at the specific moment when they're supposed to happen. Not one moment too early and not a minute too late, you see. In other words, the 144,000 guys don't have choices. That was a scenic route, if you will, to get to the crescendo of the point, which is the 144,000 do not have choices in life. They have only the illusion of choices. We didn't choose him, he chose us. Our mistakes, our challenges, the people that betrayed us at a certain season, the people that we betrayed, however it went, everything has been predestined. You understand? Meanwhile, the great multitude, the group that is made up of all races, all ethnicities, all cultures, all religions, the people that make up the great multitude do have choices. They have the choice to either go or come or go as it relates to this path. They have the choice to either follow the straight and narrow path that leads to deliverance, or they have the choice to follow the wide path that leads to destruction. They have a choice to answer the call or ignore the call. And they also have the choice to answer the call, and for whatever reason, it's too hard, it's too confusing, it's costing them too much in their personal lives, whatever. They also have the choice to answer the call and then do what the old timers call backslide, which is to change their mind for whatever reason. So this is the group that I'm referring to when I'm talking about the choices of the believers. So let's get into it, guys. Having kind of laid the groundwork for who I'm talking about specifically and who I'm not talking about specifically, although wisdom, the quest, the pursuit, the embracement, and the implementation of wisdom is a prerequisite for all of us, 144,000 and the great multitude. It's a prerequisite for all of us on our individual as well as our collective path and assignment. So let's get into it, guys. Some of my personal observations as it relates to the great multitude. Some of the choices that are being made, and some of these choices by the great multitude members are probably, I'm sure some are being made unintentionally, unknowingly, some even, tacitly. But they're being made nevertheless. And I'm not talking about every single member of the great multitude. I think it's safe for me to presume through faith that you already know that I'm not talking about every single individual or every person as it relates to the great multitude. However, the great multitude does in fact make up, as I previously stated, people from all different political views, financial standings, ethnicities, religions, backgrounds, you name it. So in that regard, I'm going to spread this critique out evenly across the board, because I see blacks, whites, reds, yellows, browns, and a combination of those races. I see everybody making these same choices as it relates to everybody that the great multitude that makes up the great multitude. That's all the different races, political views, ethnicities, etc. So, my personal observation, my personal study. What I see is these groups, these individuals, and again, not talking about everyone, they're not standing up for the word. They're not standing up for that word. Now, if you're familiar with this ministry, you know that I have researched and was devout to pretty much all of the mainstream religions at one point or another. So I'm very familiar with all of them. I don't have to list them all out. There's all kinds of videos where I have actually listed them all out. But every mainstream religion, pretty much, as well as the different philosophies about life, spiritual teachings about life, they're all saying the same thing. So when I say no one's standing up for the word of this thing we refer to as God, I'm talking about across the board. Islam, Judaism, Christianity, Sufism, Rastafarianism, Buddhism, you name it. No, most people, and again, at the risk of redundancy, I'm obviously not talking about every single person. I probably will not mention that again because, again, I've made it a couple of times, and I think it's safe for me to presume through faith that you guys already know that I'm not talking about every single person. But collectively, they're not standing up for the word. Wherever that word is coming from, it's talking about the same God. It's a different branch of the same tree. And so it's talking about the same word. Be the best human being that you could be. Be about wisdom and growth and evolution. Be about glorifying him. Be about faith and love and compassion and justice and fairness for all, equality, your own God-given authentic self, forgiveness, all these different things. It's the same thing. Being compassionate, being helpful, being useful to the kingdom, respecting all life. It's the same word. Respecting all life, all human life, all animal life, all plant life, the life of Mother Earth. It's the same word. People aren't standing up for the word. The members of the great multitude, the choices that they are making, knowingly or unknowingly, brazenly or tacitly, they're not standing up for the word. At least not beyond their church. And I mean the word as it relates to some of the areas that I just mentioned. And beyond, for that matter. Just the word itself, you see. We all know what the word consists of, what it's calling us and demanding that we be. So people aren't standing up for the word. The great multitude are making a choice to not stand up for the word, at least not beyond their churches and or their communities or their family lives. And if we're hand on heart honest, we know that some of them, dare I say a great deal of them, aren't even doing that. They turn a blind eye and they let things that are in blatant opposition to the word take place in their relationships, their marriage, their household, the church, their synagogues. They let people do this and do that. And even though they may themselves be a true, wholehearted member of the great multitude, they're not standing up for that. They let their kids that are underage do all kinds of stuff, sometimes within the household, that contradict the word. They go to church. They see people in the church contradicting the word. They go out to society. They see people, not that you should be in everyone else's business, but we are in this thing collectively. And so people just aren't standing up for the word, man. That's just the bottom line. Another thing that I have witnessed, and I'm convinced, based on my own observation, that those who are of the great multitude are making a choice to do. They're making a choice to not help people, to just flat out not help people. Now, don't get me wrong. Please get me right. Obviously, they do some of the things that we know, churches and mosques and, good old-fashioned, good, decent human beings for that matter. They do these things like, feed the hungry, house, the homeless. They pass out food and blankets and all that stuff. But let's be honest. They could be doing so much, much more. We all know that, guys. We're not afraid to call a spade a spade. They could be doing so much more. Some of the members of the great multitude have a lot of them are truly wealthy people. They're beyond rich, like they're wealthy people. They have tons and tons of money, tons and tons of land, tons and tons of political influence, tons and tons of resources across the board. So passing out blankets and passing out food and giving to the March of Dimes and these kinds of things, these things are needed and they should be applauded. And I do applaud them. I celebrate and salute them. But it's also the bare minimum. It's absolutely the bare minimum when you compare it to what they could actually be doing. Now, even those of us who are amongst 144,000, all of us, 144,000 again, I already talked about that. And yet, the truth and the commitment remains, the need as well remains that all of us, including myself, need to push ourselves to do more. Because if helping others, if that was a commodity on the stock market, then that stock would have plummeted a long time ago. Again, let's just be honest, guys. And it's okay. It's not okay, but we get what's happened. We've been desensitized to helping people. How do you help people when you got the government pushing it down your throat that you aren't even supposed to darn near talk to people? You can't stand within 6 feet of a person. The government's telling us that this race is against that race. This political view is opposing that political view. So we get it, and yet this is the great workshop of life / the things that he has anointed and appointed us for. The 144,000 members and those who are amongst the great multitude, you understand? Another thing that I see and have noticed and have observed is that, again, I put all these people in the same basket, guys. And I'm not talking about every single person. But what I've seen is that when these people, these members of the great multitude that the Bible refers to them as being, they can come off or show themselves as being just weak, pathetically weak, overly passive, docile, cowardly, in terms of how they let people treat them, how people talk down to them, disrespect them half the time straight to their face, foul names, crowding their personal physical space. That's not what we're here for. God hates a coward. I can't think of the one scripture, but I can think of it. I'll paraphrase it just a little bit. It says, the cowardly, the liars, the idolaters, the sinners, the murderers, the thieves, they're all going to be gathered and cast into the fire. If you want some information about where that is in the Bible, then just contact me. But it says again, the cowardly, the unjust, the immoral, the murderers, the thieves, etc. They're all going to be rounded up and cast into the fire. Now, who leads that list? The cowardly. The cowardly. And I see my spiritual brothers and sisters out there, and they've fallen way out of balance when it comes to this rise above it. It just is what it is. Turn the other cheek mentality. And so oftentimes I see them displaying an enormous amount of just weakness or cowardice or docile submissiveness. We're here to bring his kingdom. We're not here to be docile, guys. And obviously we know there's some things we got to overlook and sidestep and rise above, but to have that at the crux of our comings and goings and to use that as an excuse to be someone else's mental, psychological, social, emotional punching bag, that's unacceptable and inexcusable. So that's another thing that I see those who are amongst the great multitude doing, just going out and being, projecting weakness and not strength. He's a strong God, So, last but not least, guys, I'll say this, and I'll wrap this message up. Another thing that I've noticed as it relates to the choices that are being made by the great multitude or the members of the great multitude, my spiritual brothers and sisters, is that there's no unity. There's no unity. Everyone's in their own little world, their own little corner, their own little religion, their own little political box, their own little financial community, their own little, ability to have a positive influence on the broader community. Well, that's fine, so long as that community doesn't extend outside of their neighborhood, you understand? Everybody's too busy promoting their own brand, their own YouTube channel, their own agenda. There's no unity, guys. People have made the choice, consciously or unconsciously, to not unite for this kingdom building process that if you are carrying the light, you're involved in. There's strength in numbers. We all know this, guys. Christ, the most powerful man, our eldest brother, whose accurate name, by the way, is Yahushai, but that's a subject for a different topic. But in any event, our older brother, as powerful as he was and is, he had his 12 disciples. He had them for a reason, guys. He had them for a reason. So to not unite, in my view, is foolishness. You understand? Because meanwhile, the enemy is totally united. They've joined forces. They've joined forces. The witches with the warlocks, the people who are into energy vampirism have joined the people that's into spell casting, who have joined the people who, do the Ouija board, and they've joined the people who do the crystal ball and all this old madness. The enemy has united. And what they do is they go by, or at least their plan is to go by and knock off the light bearers one by one. Whether that one by one is an individual or that little sect over there or that little community, that religion, they knock us off. Their game plan is to knock us off one by one because we won't unite. When's the last time you united with someone and said, hey man, look, your YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, let's unite and let's do a program. Your community development, my community development, your religion, my money mixed in with your money, my views intertwined with your views. Let's collaborate on something because it's all the same kingdom, which is the kingdom of light, you understand? But there's no unity. To a great extent, those are the things that I have noticed. And I wanted to bring this forefront because first he put it on my spirit. And second is because he told me that it was on my spirit to utilize this as a call to arm to the great multitude. We already talked about the 144,000 and they, that's not to make an excuse for them. Those of us who are amongst the 144,000, not to make an excuse for any of us. Because again, like I said, all of us, including myself, all of us, the 144,000 and every light bearer, period, we need to be pushing and pressing and making sure that we're not taking our foot off the gas, making sure that we're not saying, oh, I'm 144th member of the 144,000, so I can't do more because it's not meant for me to do more. That's baloney as well. We have to stay prayed up. And just like we can't use no excuse, neither can the great multitude and say, well, I'm a Muslim, they're a Christian, can't do anything. It's one kingdom that's coming, guys. It's not a Muslim kingdom, an atheist kingdom, a Christianity kingdom. It's one kingdom that's coming. And you can call this kingdom whatever you want to call it. The kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of light, the kingdom of awakened consciousness, whatever you want to call it. It's one kingdom, you understand? So this was put out because he informed me to do so, and also because he informed me to put it out as a 100% call to arms to the great multitude. Be aware of the choices that you're making intentionally or unintentionally, and make better choices / make wiser choices. And I'm pretty sure that if we're hand on heart honest, we can agree that we all can afford to do better in accordance with his will. But that's what I got for you guys. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If this message was edifying to you and you'd like to give back to this ministry, here's a few ways that you can do so. You can subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed. And you can always make sure that you hit that like button every single time. Every single time. Hit the like button, please, guys. This is important because subscribing to the channel and always hitting that like button, this way you help this ministry continue to grow, thus continue to be able to help more people. So you're giving back to this ministry. You're planting seeds into this ministry. This is how you can help this ministry. Also, guys, for your own personal accountability in his eyes, guys, you want to make sure if this ministry is providing a benefit to you, then you're now spiritually obligated by our Father to put that message out, pay that edification, that usefulness, pay it forward. So hit the share button, put that out to someone, and you've done your job. Whether they receive it or not, you've done your job. Again, you're planting seeds in your own life as it relates to that, and you're simultaneously planting seeds in this ministry because you're helping spreading the word of this ministry, or the word that he gives this ministry to put out there. Also, hit the bell icon if you'd like to receive a notification every time I upload a new message. Conversely, guys, you can also make a monetary donation and assist this ministry by monetary means, or through monetary means by going to the Cash App at $EASTBOOGIEPAYDAY. Whatever seeds you plant into this ministry, helping it grow, a word of encouragement, leaving a comment, whatever it is, a financial contribution, whatever it is, I'm automatically releasing by the power that he has granted me as a joint heir to the throne, and in accordance with his word, I'm already releasing your abundant harvest. It's being spiritually released. It's been spiritually released before you even put the seed into the ground. It's being spiritually released in accordance with his will, in accordance with his word, in accordance with his plan, because he promised that whatever seed you plant, what good seed you plant in good ground, you will receive a harvest, shaken down, pressed together, and running over. So an abundant harvest. You help this ministry, abundant help is coming your way, regardless of what way you help this ministry. He is a helper to those who are a helper of others. Oftentimes, guys, we don't get a blessing because we didn't plant seeds for a blessing. And so we got to get over that too. Love someone, encourage someone. If you're able to financially assist someone, give somebody some helpful information, pat on the back, and sometimes, yes, a spank on the back if they need that, you understand. But in any event, that's how you can help this ministry, guys. I pray over your harvest. It's already been released in the spiritual realm, but you do have to do your part and get the seed in the ground. Also, guys, I encourage you to go to the physical fitness branch of the ministry, located at mountfitnessmbs.com, and always be inspired, encouraged, and well informed about how to take care of your physical vessel. And all of the services that I mentioned earlier are available right here online via Zoom, via Skype, via FaceTime. I also travel throughout the United States, all over the United States. In addition, guys, I also do one-on-one live chat, phone consultations. So if you're interested in the services, if you have general questions, if you're interested in the possibility of recruiting me to come to your city, your state, your neighborhood, you can contact this ministry by sending me an email at aura, EALDEALMUNOZ @gmail.com. Not for sure if I gave the Cash App. If I did, I apologize, but just to make sure, the Cash App is $EASTBOOGIEPAYDAY. Hey, that's what I got for you guys, man. I appreciate all the love and all the support. And again, your harvest has already been released in the spiritual realm. You just have to plant that seed, whatever seed it is. Let's make sure that we're being mindful of the choices that we make. Again, great, the 144,000, we just have the illusion of choices. But we need to be holding ourselves accountable through His Holy Spirit to make sure that we're not fooling ourselves, that we're not getting the big head and just saying, hey, if I could do more, I can't do more. Now, that's baloney too. That's not what I'm saying, guys. But either way, the great multitude, be conscious of the choices that you're making, particularly in those areas, because those are the areas that He informed me to address. You know, when people see the light bearers presenting themselves in those ways, or not doing some of the things that I mentioned that we're not doing, we're making those kind of choices. It's an easy out to someone who's already on the fence and they see the world going left. They don't see very many people going right. And so if we're projecting, selfishness, we're not helping anybody. We're promoting cowardice. We won't stand up for ourselves. We're not unified. This is an easy out. This is an easy turnoff. Who wants to join that? Who would want to join that? So let your light shine. Be conscious and cognizant of the choices that you're making. If you have any questions about some specific things that you could do in your life, your home, your community, the world, society abroad, you can contact this ministry. Other than that, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I appreciate all the love and support. Now, always, as always, be sharp, be smart, be strong, and be safe. Be happy, be healthy, be humble, and yet simultaneously always be courageous. Because in order for us to do His will, it's going to take courage. No matter what we're doing in that regards, no matter how we're doing it, to what extent we're doing it, if it's kingdom building, it requires courage. So always be courageous, guys. Again, I'm Minister Mongoose. I appreciate all the love and support, and I'll holler at you guys in the next one. I am Minister Mongoose, and I will holler back. Peace.